Yeah, so if you're from Nigeria, please, just comment down below there and let us know you're from Nigeria so that we can maybe invite you and maybe share your perspective in terms of how all these things sort of happen. When you guys obviously flaunt money around South African women, in order for you guys to win them out, because obviously it's actually public knowledge that mostly Nigerians are the ones who are actually sort of creating the culture of women who actually want money and instead of love, because obviously nowadays most women just want money besides love. So my friend over here is actually correct to say that it's Nigerians. So if you disagree with that, please comment down below. If you're a new if you're a new person sort of visiting our channel, please do subscribe below. Yeah, please do subscribe, guys, so that we can obviously be more motivated and bring you guys more content that you love. This is actually the content that you guys want, something that is basically unfiltered. All right. Okay, cool. So over to you, Vusumzi. Just a continuation of where we were before we had an issue, a technical issue, basically, in terms of the Nigerians. You've mentioned that they are the ones who are actually flaunting so much money to the South African woman. Take us through that.
Yeah, I just feel like even our African leaders that are in bed with the Western world, I mean, the entire European economy is built on the foundations of black people throughout Africa. And when you're in power, you want more for yourself. It's
Hmm.
basically self gain, and therefore you are not connecting with the reality on the ground, what the people want. So therefore, you want more for yourself, and as a result, the Nigerian men have found mechanisms to find means to have economic sustainability and financial power to lure South African women.
Mm.
So therefore, our women see all this glitz and glamour. They see the fancy cars. They see the fancy watches. They see these mansions, and therefore they love that. So therefore, Nigerian men are doing the most. So therefore, they have all the women
Mhm.
in South Africa.
But then, where do you think they're getting the money from?
They're getting the money through other mechanisms, through
Mm.
criminal activity,
Okay.
through scams, through drugs, through many other things.
Okay. Is
So
that your perception or is that like public knowledge? I don't know.
it is it
Because
is
do you think all Nigerians are selling drugs?
not all, but
Most. Okay.
most are selling drugs.
Where
Yeah.
do we find these people in South
In
Africa?
South Africa, we find
Cape
them
Town,
in
particularly.
Parklands,
Okay.
Parklands and Saint.
What I mean is a teacher. Like, what do you think? What do you think about the whole incident of Nigerian men, allegedly Nigerian men, sort of inviting young women or young kids, allegedly. Please don't misquote me. To parklets basically, and it is said that they buy these kids drinks, etc., give them money, $500 and up, in order to sleep with them and have sex with them. I don't know. What do you think about that? What's your stance about that, particularly in terms of the future of South Africa? Because obviously these are young people.
Yeah, these are young people, and like I said, it is just totally, wrong. I mean, you can, make other means of money, but to lure young girls, especially when they are coming from poor backgrounds, you have all the money that you have in South Africa, and obviously you're sorting out your family
Mhm.
back home. But now you are inviting these girls to invite their friends, and their friends,
Mhm.
you can buy them a bottle of Hennessy, you can buy them iPhone 13s, but obviously that comes at an expense. What you put out there is what you get in return.
Mhm.
So yeah, man, it's just a messed up society that we're living in,
Mhm.
and our poor young girls are falling into these traps where
Mhm.
sometimes they have to sleep with snakes, they have to twerk, they have
Mhm.
to do all sorts of things for these Nigerians. But
Mhm.
I still blame the African leaders not developing our African women
mm,
to be
mm,
self-sustaining. Yes, us as gents, we love women that are submissive, and but we also want women that are also productive.
mm,
That are quite
mm.
independent, and that's very attractive as a man to fall in love with a woman who's also quite independent. I've got a quick question for you, if you
Okay,
don't
cool.
mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why don't you fall in love with your own nation or with your own um, particular tribe or your own particular woman that you
Well,
go for South African woman?
I'm actually the host here. I should be the one asking the questions. But
Uh,
nonetheless, I mean,
mm,
I'm from Angola, so obviously, Angolan people are not a lot in South Africa. We are, I think, plus minus, I'm not sure, probably 6,000 in Cape Town,
mm,
according to the embassy or the consulate of the
mm,
Angolan of Angola. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, like obviously, I don't meet Angolan women on a daily basis. Like
mm,
I meet South African women. So
mm.
that's the answer basically. That's the answer that you're probably looking for. So yeah. So the majority of the people that I meet are probably South African people, blacks and coloreds. So that
Yeah.
is why. So there's a more probability of
Mm,
me, being engaged with a black woman or colored woman because
yeah.
I'm in Cape Town. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically that's the answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, what's the solution though to this whole thing of black women, probably even colored, who are obviously dating Nigerian men for money? Because I mean, you would agree with me that nowadays, yeah, you would agree with me that nowadays, there's no love. You know, majority of black women and maybe some colors. I'm not that close to the colored community. Women are obviously after money nowadays.
Mm,
They don't give a shit about love anymore. Like,
mm.
what's your take on that? Have you experienced anything, something like that? Have you maybe come across someone, a woman that is more inclined to dating Nigerian women because of money? What's your stance on that?
First of all, we don't have the money,
Yeah.
so we cannot spend 60,000 or
Hmm.
50,000 on
And
champagne.
bottles, yeah.
So I think the main solution is to self love,
Okay.
love yourself, find a job,
Okay.
start a business, um, be in cahoots with government so that you can get the necessary social grants. There
Hmm.
is money out there, but start something, be independent, start a
Okay.
business, so that you can have your own money, so that you can build your own empire. Be basically your own boss. Don't rely on Benna boys from Nigeria to come and give you a bottle of
Is this a message to locals, to South
to
African women?
locals. Yeah,
Mm,
to locals. And if you are in love for the right reasons, go for that Nigerian guy.
mhm.
And also for Angolians to go for Angolians. If there is a massive, influx of foreign nationals, or even an Angolan for a Nigerian. I don't know if I'm controversial, but
Mhm. Yeah,
it can work.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, why do South Africans not migrate to other parts of the world, or to any other African country, or to America or UK, etc.? Because obviously, it's usually, Black African people who actually
Mm,
migrate to different parts of the world, but we don't really see South Africans migrating. It's a few percentage of South Africans who are actually migrating
mm.
elsewhere. Why is it so?
I think it's the how could I put it? It's just that there isn't any knowledge, or the countries are not developed well enough,
Okay.
or that will draw your perception to go to that. Although you might have the necessary skills, you might have the necessary qualification, but it's just that it's not developed
Hmm.
enough, or it's not sold to be developed enough,
Hmm. Yeah.
or the government controls the media for its own narratives
Hmm.
or for its own political gains,
Hmm.
to attract certain, or basically use the media to shut down attraction towards the company so that they can maybe use it for its own political gains.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a mind control thing. So South Africans are not clued up enough because government has its own agendas in
Mm-hmm.
particular states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Let's play a quick game. Um, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. You just need to choose, the answer that best suits you well.
Yeah.
Julius Malema or Jacob Zuma?
Julius Malema
Why?
is pro-African,
Okay.
pro-black,
Hmm.
and he's got the communist mentality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you maybe explain that further to people who are watching for the first time in terms of the communist mentality?
Communism is just nationalization of the land, the mines, the gold, the copper. We don't privatize, nationalize the banks.
Hmm.
Everyone needs to have an equal distribution to
Hmm.
wealth,
Okay.
to put food on the table, to
Hmm.
make the country and the
Hmm.
economy go forward.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Just a quick one. In terms of the whole policy of the